Welcome back, everyone. This is the Mind Body Mentor podcast. My name is Steven Jaggers, and I am your host. And on today's episode, it's going to be a solo cast with myself. And I'm going to be sharing with you the thoughts that I've been thinking lately as we're moving into this AI-centered world, as the world is changing. And I know you feel it because I feel it too. And the questions that I've been asking myself and pondering and running through my own internal GPT or my own human intelligence is what actually really matters right now, and what should I be focusing on, and what does it mean to be human, and why am I doing all of the things that I'm doing, and why am I on this healing and growth journey of improving my relationships and improving myself and resetting my nervous system. Why am I doing all of this? What is the purpose? And if you're anything like me, you are constantly asking yourself that question. So throughout my journey of studying a multitude of different modalities, from bodywork-based modalities to coaching and mindset-based modalities to functional rehabilitation, athletic modalities, to help myself perform better, to help others perform better. What's actually going on? And the question that I always arrive to, or the answer that I always arrive to, is connection. It's all about connection. And if you look at the opposite side of what are all of the issues that we're facing in our modern world, they are all byproducts of disconnection, isolation, apathy, numbness, sickness, fighting with each other. All of these are due to disconnection. They are a result. They are pain from being disconnected. And pain is an intelligent communicator. It is actually one of your biggest friends. There's a quote from Ida Rolf, who is an OG in the bodywork realm. She says, where the pain is, ain't where it at. Pain is an exhaust point. Pain is a part of your body that's saying, hey, there's something going on in my system and I can't hold on anymore. And so there's an exhaust in one area, but a lot of the times the actual issue is in another place. The issue is not where the cry actually happens. And so a lot of the pain that we're experiencing in our modern world, anxiety, depression, isolation, suicide, insomnia, isolation, it's all from a place of disconnection. Most of us are living in our head, and we're so overwhelmed from overthinking, and we're living as talking heads, and we're not connected to our body. We don't know what's going on inside of our emotional realm. We can talk about it. I can tell you, I think I'm feeling this way. And if you ever say that, you know at that moment you are in your head and you're disconnected from your body. But the same disconnect that's happening from your mind to your body is the same disconnect that I'm having, or we're having, from myself to my neighbors, or from myself to my environment, or myself to my food. The same disconnect that's happening internally is the same disconnect that's happening externally. And in my opinion, the main epidemic that we're facing is disconnection, is apathy. Apathy is the lowest vibration, and it means that I just don't care. And what happens? How do we become apathetic? Or how do I just get to a place where I just don't even care anymore? I'm just going to throw toxins at into the soil. I'm just going to dump shit in the ocean. I'm just going to disregard the things that are happening on the other side of the world. It's because we don't realize how connected we are. We don't realize that the web that is woven is that we are intrinsically connected. Every cell in your body knows that you are intrinsically connected to all living things. It knows that if you dump toxins in a river 100 miles away, eventually that water will make up the water in the body of your children's children. And so this disconnect that's happening, even you look at trauma. I've spent the last, 10 years studying trauma. Trauma is a disconnect from the true self. It means that something happened that was too much, too fast, too soon, or too difficult for me to handle. And so that part of me that it was too difficult for it to handle checks out. It leaves, it fragments. From studying different shamanistic cultures and energetic-based modalities, they believe that it's a part of your soul that is left, that is fragmented. And so if we look at everything as about connection, and we're living in such a disconnected world, we're disconnected from our bodies, how do we reconnect? And from a somatic perspective, from a somatic psychology perspective, healing is a byproduct of connection. When your body is connected and your posture is perfect, and which we can get into what perfect posture is, when you are in a place of you're integrated, you're able to move in an integrated way where you're not segmented parts of your body. And you can look at even the physical tools we use for strength and performance has been so isolated. We look at isometric exercises of like a bicep curl. That's looking at one part of the function, one aspect of our body, and we're an integrated system. We're meant to be able to run, swing, throw, dance that uses the intricate web of our body. And we're starting to see other modalities that take this into consideration, such as like functional patterns or understanding our fascial structures that are, it's the web, it's the internal web that is woven all throughout our system. And so how do we focus on connection? How do humans naturally connect? How do we call in those parts of ourselves that we've disconnected from? How do we build a community that is more connected? How do we build a family that is more connected? How do I deepen my connection to myself? Those are all the questions that we should be running in our own internal GPT process, right? In our own system. So let's kind of take it a little bit deeper. So this idea of integration means healing. It's the same thing. If I'm integrated in society, I'm connected in society. I believe that, I have a part that I'm fulfilling. I am co-creating within my world. We all intrinsically inside of us want to feel like we are co-creating in our world, meaning that I have something to bring to the table that is going to help you, that is going to help me, and you have something you're going to bring to the table, and we're in this co-creation together. It means that what I say and what I do matters, and it's affecting you. And what you say and what you do matters, and it's affecting me, because we're intrinsically woven in this web. There's been multiple times lately that I've been sitting in meditation, and the vision that I just can't get out of my head is that there is a web, there is an internet. And it's not the internet that we know of right now that's connected, right? We live in a more connected society right now, but it's the intrinsic, the innate internet that's going on. And you have one inside of your body, and it's called your nervous system. Well, it's called the entirety of your being, but your nervous system is a massive part of that. You have an internal net, an inner network inside of you, an electrical system that's sending and receiving messages throughout your whole body. All of the parts of your body are connected, and all of the parts are affected. When you have an injury, it's affecting everything. It's never localized. When there's an injury in my family, or there's an emotional injury in my relationship, it is a part of the co-creation. It's never about one person. You look at other cultures and tribes. I just read something about this African culture that when a couple is fighting and they have some sort of disconnect going on, they look at it as not an issue of the couple, it's an issue of the tribe. And so they would bring forth those people into the tribe, and they would solve it together. We are designed to co-regulate with each other. it makes so much sense that my nervous system actually can relax more in the presence of another person's nervous system. That's how we're wired. And what that means is we actually need each other. We need each other. We are in a co-creation. And the easiest way for me to relax my own self is to co-regulate with another person. And what that means is that that's a skill set that we can actually learn. And especially in today's world, that is, people's jobs are getting taken by AI. Everyone's kind of scrambling to figure out like, oh no, what am I actually going to do when AI comes for my job? Or what does it actually mean to be human now? What's important? And I have a lot of thoughts on that, but let's continue. So let's talk a little bit about breath work. Through my own journey, as a body worker, as a neuromuscular therapist, as someone fascinated by, understanding how emotions get moved through our body, understanding the way in which the state of our body actually affects our mindset, I never thought that breath work was going to be the thing that really took off for me, or the thing I'd build a business around, or the thing that I'd even bring into the world. But it makes so much sense to me now because, and I don't know about you, but we're all trying to make sense of our life. And a lot of the times it doesn't make sense until looking back, right? Hindsight is 20/20. But if I look at breath work specifically, it's a tool. It's a tool to deepen your own connection, because the breath is the thing that's controlling the state of your nervous system. It's controlling your autonomic state, whether you're in a stress state, whether you're in a relaxed state. You can change your state at any time, and you can reconnect your mind, the overwhelm of your mind, back to your body by utilizing your breath. It's a toggle switch. It's a button that you have in you that we were not taught in school, that you can change your internal state. We can't always change the external world. We can't change the things that are happening, but we can change the response inside of us. You look at stress and trauma, those things aren't the things that are happening to us. It's what's happening inside of us based on the thing that's happening to us. And so what's happening inside of us is we can control that. We have choice. And so breathwork's been a powerful, powerful tool for me to reconnect to myself. But it's been even a more powerful tool to help people reconnect to themselves in the presence of being connected by another person. In my opinion, what we want more than anything is we don't want someone to fix our pain and to take away our sadness or to take away our grief or our anger, because life would become very bland. What we want is we don't want to do it alone, and we don't want to have someone there trying to change us when we're in it. We want to have someone that's there to give us permission. It's one thing to feel sad, but it's another thing to feel sad and also feel connected in that. That's what we are wanting. There is this intrinsic nature inside of us that wants to feel like we belong, and we all belong here. That's why when you spend time in nature, it helps you remember that you belong here. When you spend time with your loved ones, it hopefully gives you the felt sense of belonging. I look at the 3 B's, our beingness, our ability to just be, which a lot of that has to do with healing our own issues with urgency and our own trauma, and the doing, shifting out of becoming a human doer back to a human being. There's beingness, there's belonging. We all want to feel like we belong. We all want to feel like we can just be. And we all also want to become. But if we're becoming and we're not focused on our being and our belonging, then we might become someone with other people that is actually not right for us. So I've taken you down the rabbit hole of the 3 B's. Let's go back to breath work. Breath work, for me, it's never been about the technique of the breath work. It's about teaching these, what I call meta skills of practitioners, of humans. These are the skill sets to deepen connection that allow healing to take place. If you've listened to me before, you know one of my favorite quotes is, healing happens in the presence of an empathetic witness. It does not happen when we are alone, because most of our wounds happen from other people. They happen in connection, and so our healing happens in connection. And a lot of us are just connecting mind to mind. We're just speaking at each other. There's no felt sensation. There's no attunement. There's no ability to host another person's emotions. And, you know, a way to look at this too is look at the areas in your life that you're experiencing conflict. And maybe you avoid conflict. Maybe you're like me and you've avoided conflict, and that's been a strategy for you. But most of the time, you know, if your girlfriend or your wife or your spouse or your significant other is causing conflict with you, it's a cry out for connection. If there's a pain, right? I said in the beginning of this, pain is an exhaust point that's calling you forth to connect to your body even more. If there's a pain in your relationship, it's calling you forth to connect even more. And most of the time, that's not just connecting from our mind. It's we want to be felt by each other. I want to know that you're feeling me. You feel me? And you want to know that I'm feeling you. We want to be understood, and that word understanding means that I'm standing underneath it, and I'm holding you, and I'm holding myself, and I'm holding my family and my community. And so that's why I've been so fascinated by these ideas of, you know, we could call them meta skills or interpersonal skills of connection. And why do we want to heal trauma to begin with, or heal our stressors? Because stress and trauma break connection. They break relationship. Trauma, you could just call it frozen past. There's something that's frozen from our past into my present moment. There's something that's frozen from my past. Maybe it's a part of myself that checked out, that's frozen like that. There's a wound inside of me that hasn't been processed. There's an emotion that's been frozen inside of me that hasn't been able to move yet, that's frozen into my present moment, and now starts to create my future from that place. The future is happening based on the state that you're in right now. I'll say that again. Your future is happening based on the state that you're in right now, because the decisions that you're making right now are creating your future. And most of us, our decisions are made from our frozen past, meaning that if something happened to me a long time ago where, you know, someone cheated on me, and then now what's frozen into me is like, I need to protect myself. I don't want to let myself get too vulnerable, and all women or all men are bad, right? And now that's going to propel into my future, because that's what's running in my present moment, and it's frozen inside of me, and I don't have choice around it. And I'm going to do another podcast on this idea of choice, because that's actually what having a regulated nervous system means. And so why heal trauma? Why heal stress? Why heal in general? It's to deepen connection. And I don't know about you, but at the end of my life, what's going to matter more than anything is how connected did I live my life? Did I live it from a place where I was connected to myself, or did I live a life that was connected to what other people wanted for me? That's probably that's my greatest fear, is to live a life that I wasn't connected to myself. What's going to matter most to me is how well did I connect to the people in my life? Did I spend time connecting with my children? Did I spend a lot of time deepening my connection with my community? How connected am I with my friends? If you're having issues in your business, how connected are you to your actual clients? For me, it's been a journey of getting out of perfectionism, because when I'm in perfectionism, I'm thinking about just me. I'm not necessarily connecting to what the people want. And so within somatic breath work, within all of the businesses that I'm working in currently, connection is at the root of all of them. And so you're going to see a lot of really exciting things that are being created to deepen connection, because that's what I'm fascinated in. And I believe that is going to be the future of what it means to be human. Now that we have AI, we actually have something to measure human intelligence up against. We're now being asked this question: what does it mean to be human? When all of the tech and all of the other stuff is taking over all the things that we needed to spend all this time doing in our mind, well, what really matters? So all this being said, is connection is your greatest currency. How deep are you connected to yourself? And how deep are you connected to the people around you? And if you're someone who's on this healing journey and you're on this journey of growth and finding your purpose, stop. Stop focusing on that. Because when you focus on that, you're subtly creating the opposing force that something's wrong with you, that you're not on your purpose, that something's broken. You cannot focus on healing without saying something is broken, but you can focus on deepening connection to yourself. And one of the most draining things to the human nervous system is trying to be in connection with other people when I'm not connected to myself. If you bring up and you look at all of pull up the 4 people that you're the closest to, and pull them up in your mind and ask yourself, am I able to be the fullest expression of myself in all of those relationships? Am I able to be the connected version of myself in those relationships? And if you're not able to be, then it's draining to your system. And maybe there's part of it that's on you, and there's probably part of it that's on the other person. But the most draining thing to your nervous system is not being able to be congruent, is not being connected to yourself, is not speaking your truth, is avoiding conflict. Because all of those things are cries out for connection. And so I'm going to be doing a deep dive on a lot of these topics. It's been a while since I've podcasted, but I appreciate you taking this time to listen. Please, if you can, there are comments below. Shoot me a comment on this podcast. Throw me a 5-star review if you can. I'm going to bring this back, and I'm so excited to deepen my connection with all of you. Ciao.